Peace and love. I'm very elated, I would say, to bear witness to this significant day. This is the day that our great ancestor was born. Hajj Malik Shabazz was born May 19th, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska. 1963, 1964, and early 1965 is where you see the ideology, the philosophy, the perspective on Malik Shabazz switch. He went from a civil rights philosophy or ideology to a human rights, or should I say African rights, that's located all across the globe, not just here in North America or the Western Hemisphere, should I say, but overall African rights. Louise Little, also Earl Little, Malcolm's mother, Louise, father, Earl, both were Garveyites back in the early 1920s. Louise Little, she would write articles for the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Earl Little also, okay, he was active, doing for self, really living the uh, economic reality in which he have created due to the knowledge, wisdom, philosophy, ideology, and data in which Garvey provided onto the active members that were in the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which were which was created in in the early 1900s. I believe it were 1919 or 1920 in Harlem, New York. Harlem, New York is very significant. Once Malcolm, back in 1964, were in Ghana and other various aspects within Africa, he organized a group that consists of economic ideology and economic philosophy of about dictating or creating an economic structure or base for yourself, and you feed that knowledge onto your family members, and the family will feed that on to the rest of the Africans that's located here in the Western Hemisphere. So the Afro American Unity, okay, was the name of the group in which Malcolm organized, and that group was start at in Harlem, New York, okay, in about July or June of '64, brothers and sisters. So I say that he was indeed a he was indeed a Pan Africanist. Many people know the background of Malcolm X as just being a Muslim, and also in the Nation of Islam, the NOI, but also he was definitely and died as a Pan Africanist. And that Pan Africanist came once he, were in those various aspects of Africa, met Maya Angelou, was with Kwame Nkrumah, the first prime minister, also president of Ghana, the one who in 1957 did what gave Ghana's independence for the first time. Okay, so all of the outlook and the things in which you were understanding from actually seeing that, it really shape his perspective different. You know, um, me personally, I am a huge fan of his work, who he was, what kind of impact, what kind of profound things in which he gave unto us. Okay. Also, he is the one who created, okay, a program where Africans in Africa at the time period back in 64 or early in 65, where Africans can communicate to Africans that's located here in North America or Western Hemisphere while they are in Congo, Ghana, Sudan, Liberia, Libya, and other aspects of Africa. So that's very significant for us to internalize the things in which our dear beloved ancestor gave unto us. Okay, because that that right there, that is very interesting. I would say because no other, from my standpoint, through my research, no other leader, okay, have ever done that before whatsoever. Okay, so I feel like uh, it's not about the early age in which he died, which he died at age 39. It's about the legacy in which he gave unto us. You know, he gave us a lot here. You know, he stood and died behind a purpose. He stood behind a principle by any means necessary. You guys see, by any means necessary, ballot or the bullet. Do you think all white people are guilty? 1963, ballot or the bullet. 1964, okay, by any means necessary. 63 or 64, okay, and other interviews made them very significant.